Yo, moin boys. Now, in a few days, Global will receive the new patch, where we will be able to summon for the Sun God FREYR, and of course we will also get the new Demonic Beast battle for Skull and Hardy. Now, in this Demonic Beast battle we will be able to finally get Holy Relics for Giants and for Demons. And this new FREYR character is pretty much to deal with the floor 2 and floor 3 of the new Demonic Beast battle. But should you summon? Now, in short, my advice would be, whenever the patch hits for Global, wait a few days, do not summon right away, because the main reason is maybe Global players will figure out a way to beat floor 2 and floor 3 without FREYR. Now, I don't speak Japanese, I don't know Korea, so whenever the patch hits, I will read through all the passives, and I will also try to figure out a team to beat floor 2 and 3, but it might not be possible without FREYR. That's why I recommend wait a few days and look out for people if someone is able to beat it without FREYR. Because if they are, there's pretty much no need to summon for FREYR. Now, he is a good character, and we get a bit more in-depth now with FREYR. First of all, sadly, he is not a goddess. He is of unknown race, but he is still pretty good. Let's start with his passive. His passive pretty much works everywhere, and it does the following. Allies are immune to ignites. Now, this is pretty good in the new Demonic Beast battle, because the wolves do apply ignite every now and then. At the start of Ella's turn, applies Blessing of Light to the hero and increases all of the hero's stats by 15% for 2 turns. Every 2 turns, apply Blessing of Light again. Now, this is a grey buff on himself, and it pretty much lasts forever and means he has 15% more stats. It's also a grey buff. Now, when Blessing of Light is removed, increase all of the allies' stats by 5% for 5 turns. This is a blue buff and it can stack, and by Blessing of Light is removed, it pretty much just means whenever the 2 turns of his grey buff runs out, he applies the all stats to all allies. For his cards, his first card is Split Charge, deals damage to 1 enemy on rank 1, no effect, and at rank 2 and rank 3, it also cancels stances. Now, this is important because the new Demonic Beast battle does have a stance every few turns, and you will be able to remove it with FREYR. His next card is also a single target card, inflicts cleave damage, deals additional damage equal to an amount of his crit damage, which is pretty nice, but it is unable to crit itself. So as you can see, 30% crit chance does FREYR have, which is pretty sad, but it doesn't really matter because this card can't crit anyway. And this card is pretty much one of the most important cards, and his ultimate is also pretty important. But in general, this card is pretty good. His ultimate is the same as the Once ultimate, where he inflicts damage to 1 enemy and then inflicts this damage again. Based on his ultimate level at 6/6, it is 100% of his first damage he will deal again on the same unit or another unit if the first unit died from the first attack. This also bypasses like some effects of the Demonic Beast battle. Normally they have an effect where they can't get, let's say, not more damage than 30% of their max health in 1 card. Now, this is 1 card, but let's say his first attack does 30% of max HP of the enemy, and at 6/6 his death damage would deal 100% again. This would bypass the 30% cap, and his card would pretty much deal 60% instead of only 30. Now, let's go over the Demonic Beast battle Right now, there are pretty much only 3 teams that beat Demonic Beast Battle, at least in JP and Korea. And one of the first teams is Nagado's team. And this team is pretty much a complete whale team. 6-6 FREYR, 6-6 Trader Meteor, 6-6 Liz, and 6-6 Diane. You pretty much want all of them 6-6. At least close as possible. Liz 6-6 is pretty important because of the revive of her ultimate lasts 2 turns instead of 1 turn. And you very much need her at least 4-6, so her revive buff is a grey buff and not a blue buff. Because the blue buff can simply be removed by the enemy Demonic Beast Battle Wolf, because he can freeze and remove all normal buffs. Now, pretty much no one is able to run this team besides Super Whales, so this team doesn't really matter too much in my opinion. Now, there's another team where instead of Liz, they use Skadi, but I don't know who did it. Shout out to Rigatoni, by the way, because pretty much all of the 3 teams I showcase here, or 2 teams, are from Rigatoni's video. The other one is the YouTuber Andy, and whatever else this means. And he used a pretty interesting team that is 6-6 FREYR, 6-6 Trader Meteors, 6-6 1 Eskener, and 6-6 Green Liz. Now, Green Liz is an insanely old unit, but he was able to beat floor 2 and 3 for exactly this team. Now, Liz can heal and cleanse debuffs with level 2. Her ultimate also heals and gives everyone 2 ultimate gauge, which is really nice, because the insane amount of damage of this team is pretty much their ultimates. The one has death damage ultimate, and FREYR also has death damage ultimate. You probably don't even need them 6-6, but close like 6-6 would be good. And Trader Meteors, yeah, I guess you can also beat the floor 2 and 3 without 6-6 Trader Meteors, I would guess. But still, right? Most people should have a few copies of Eskener, and obviously Liz. Now, the other use is, obviously you can use FREYR in PvP, you could remove stances from Diane and stuff, but that's that. Sadly, his split charge is pretty weak. His Rain of Light is great, but yeah, one out of 2 cards is good, the other not that much. Now, you can also use him for the original demon as a substitute for Trader Meteors. If you don't have Trader Meteors, you can use FREYR. FREYR might be even better than Trader Meteors. As you can see here in Nagato's video, he pretty much did almost, or he even did more damage than a level 3 Trader Meteors Amplify card with his Cleave card. And obviously, if you have ultimate gauge, his ultimate with dupes, his ultimate damage would be also pretty insane. Now, that's pretty much it. As I said earlier, or what my plan is pretty much, the patch will come out, I will look at the Demonic Beast battle, look if we can be able to beat it without FREYR. If there is a team, I will pretty much post a video about it. If not, well, that's pretty much unlucky. And you pretty much need to decide, hey, do I need this character? Do I need him for the future? Because in the future there will be probably a better unit for the Demonic Beast battle, but the stance removal and the ignites alone are pretty valuable. So in the future you probably want 1 copy of him if we need him to beat floor 2 and 3. And besides that, I might be able to beat the floor with this team, but for that I pretty much need to do at least 1 rotation with FREYR and pray that we get a lot of dupes. Besides that, if you don't really care about giants or demons relics, I guess you can also skip FREYR, because it's just for giant and demon relics. In the near future, of course, demons could become really good or really meta. They could release insane demon units, but the time will tell. With that, I wish you luck if you decided to summon, and we see us next time. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, maybe subscribe if you want more content. And with that, I'm out, boys. We see us next time. Have a great life.